Picture the bay lights shining bright, the buzz around Chase Center at fever pitch, and yet, beneath the surface, a storm is brewing. For Warriors fans, this isn't just another off-season, it's a crossroads. Golden State faces a critical decision that could define the future of their championship window. The spotlight? Restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. The solution? A swift strategic sign-and-trade for Brooklyn forward Cam Johnson. Tonight, we'll break down why this move isn't just ideal, it's absolutely essential for keeping the Warriors firmly in the title hunt. The current state of the Warriors, a team in transition. This offseason, the Warriors are in all-hands-on-deck mode. After a turbulent year filled with lineup shuffles, injury woes, and sudden strategic shifts, everyone knows the pressure is on. The championship core, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and the newly acquired Jimmy Butler, remains intact for the next 2 seasons. Yet underneath that glittering exterior, the need for depth, consistent bench scoring, and more reliable role players has never been greater. Jonathan Kuminga, at just 22 years old, stands front and center in this storm. He flashed stardom before his ankle injury, averaging a career-high 16.8 points in just 26 minutes per contest. But post-injury, things fell apart. A new Butler-inspired offensive scheme pushed Kuminga to the fringes, and as the playoffs neared, he found himself benched, unable to adapt to his shifting role. As the painful regular season closed, one thing was clear. Kuminga's fit in Golden State had never been more uncertain. The Cam Johnson solution. Consistency matters. Enter Cam Johnson, the Brooklyn Nets' quietly dynamic forward. Johnson's numbers may not scream superstar. 18.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.4 assists over 57 games last season. But what they represent is stability. While nagging injuries kept him sidelined for stretches, when he played, he delivered consistent production and became a focal point in Brooklyn's offense, especially as the roster shuffled and expectations shifted. What makes Johnson particularly enticing for Golden State? The Warriors crave a bench scorer who can step up when starters rest and mesh seamlessly with their ball movement-heavy schemes. Johnson's rim-running, off-ball cutting, and spot-up shooting are tailor-made for the Warriors system, allowing him to complement Curry and Butler without demanding the spotlight. Why this trade works? For both teams now, let's talk trade mechanics and why this swap would make sense for both franchises. For the Warriors, immediate upgrade for the bench. Johnson provides steady plug-and-play offense, the sort that doesn't require a season-long adjustment or complicated step-back threes under pressure. Timeline synergy. Johnson is entering the 3rd year of a 4-year, $94.5 million deal, syncing perfectly with Curry, Butler, and Draymond's contracts over the next 2 critical seasons. Less risk, more reward. While Kuminga has sky-high potential, his current production comes with growing pains, inconsistency, and uncertainty about his fit with the team's new core. Swapping him for a veteran like Johnson enables the Warriors to maximize a fleeting title window. For the Nets, rebuild reloaded. Brooklyn's priorities have shifted. They hold the 8th pick in the 2025 NBA draft and are laser-focused on youth and upside. Cap space and potential. Johnson isn't as explosive or as athletic as Kuminga, but Kuminga's raw potential and higher ceiling make for a tantalizing addition, especially for a team willing to develop future stars. Value management. The Nets can absorb Kuminga's projected new contract, possibly 4 years, $120 million, hoping to mold him into a breakout franchise player. Understanding the players. Let's quickly size up both sides of the trade. Jonathan Kuminga, Golden State Warriors. Age, 22. Profile. Athletic, explosive, with tremendous two-way upside but still inconsistent, and struggling to carve out a permanent role on a contending team. Contract situation. Projected to command a sizable pay raise in restricted free agency. Estimated around 4 years, $120 million in 24-25. Projection. High upside, but with questions on whether he fits a win-now rotation or is better suited to a team that can afford to be patient. Cam Johnson, Brooklyn Nets. Age, 28. Profile. Sharpshooter. Reliable, versatile forward who can stretch the floor, run in transition, and fill multiple offensive needs without the ball. Contract situation. locked into a deal worth $94.5 million through 2027, providing cost certainty and roster stability. 24-25. Projection. Dependable scorer, ideal bench leader, particularly for playoff teams aiming for steady second unit play. Potential risks and rewards. Every major trade comes with a gamble, and this one is no exception. Golden State risks. Moving on from Kuminga now means possibly losing out on his future all-star potential, particularly if he blossoms in Brooklyn's development-friendly system. However, clinging to potential could mean squandering Curry's and Butler's remaining prime years. Brooklyn risks. Trading away a proven commodity in Johnson for the hope that Kuminga materializes could backfire. If Kuminga's learning curve stretches longer than expected, but if he pops, the upside could dramatically accelerate the Nets' rebuild. For both teams, it's about banking on the right timeline, championship urgency versus long-term planning. How this moves impacts the title perspective for the Warriors. This isn't a move for the highlight reel, but for stability, the type of addition that wins playoff series in May and June. Johnson slots into lineups with Curry, Butler, and Draymond without demanding touches, bridging the starting five and the bench with versatility and offense. On the other side, the Nets wave goodbye to one of their most dependable veterans, but in doing so, they buy a ticket to the Jonathan Kuminga experiment. Surrounded by young talent and high picks, Kuminga gets the developmental runway he needs, with less pressure and more room to grow. The verdict. Why this trade should happen. Now bottom line, this is the rare deal, where both sides walk away winners. For the Warriors, the window is closing fast. For the Nets, the future is wide open. A Kuminga for Johnson sign and trade ticks every box, fitting current needs, aligning with timelines and salaries, and giving each franchise clarity as they chase their very different 2025 goals. Now it's your turn. This kind of trade doesn't just shift players. It shifts narratives and stakes across the NBA. Warriors fans, do you think Cam Johnson is the missing piece that cements another title run? Nets loyalists, does Kuminga feel like the spark your rebuild needs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who wins this trade? Which player would you prefer wearing your team's colors? And if you appreciated this deep analysis, hit the like button so we can keep these exclusive breakdowns coming your way. Thanks for tuning in, and stay with us for every twist and turn in what promises to be one of the most dramatic off-seasons in recent Warriors memory.